Do you participate in the social networking phenomena? Even if you don't think you do or don't do it regularly, you might have had much more contact with it than you think. In the modern era, social networking has become an ubiquitous form of communication between a variety of social populations. Social networking can be defined as the use of dedicated websites and applications to interact with other users or to find people with similar interests to oneself, and has exploded in the last 10 to 15 years. YouTube, MySpace, Ask.fm, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, and Twitter are just some of the social networking outlets that have taken off in such a short amount of time. For example, Instagram was created in 2010 and already has 302 million users. Social networking tends to magnify existing social behaviors. For example, if a person tends to be a social butterfly, social networking often personifies their outgoing, friendly persona. On the other side, if a person is socially isolated, social networking tends to heighten their feelings of loneliness or isolation from others. This can be considered one of the dangers of social networking, along with exposure to child predators, scammers, identity thieves, a decrease in privacy, sexting, and especially bullying. Bullying, according to Google, is the use of superior strength or influence to intimidate someone and has become increasingly prevalent among young populations. Over 3.2 million students suffer from bullying each year, and approximately 160,000 students skip school each day due to bullying or fear of being bullied. That's 1 in 7 students in grades K through 12. 71% of teens also reported that bullying was a problem in their school, where they spend over 35 hours every week. Any form of taunting, verbal abuse, physical abuse, deliberate exclusion or isolation from groups, and cyberbullying, which is bullying that occurs through an electronic medium like a computer, that occurs multiple times is considered bullying. Students that tend to bully have a strong desire for negative dominance, obtain satisfaction from hurting or berating others, and are often rewarded in some way for their behavior, either materialistically or psychologically. Unlike the dominance a bully often exhibits, victims are often passive, lack confidence, seem helpless, and are afraid to speak out. Due to bullying, victims may suffer from a variety of mental health problems, such as anxiety, depression, extreme insecurity, and distorted body image, among others. They may also have impaired academic performance, are more likely to abuse drugs and alcohol, and are more likely to bring weapons into their school environment. Bullying also causes turmoil for both the bystanders and the bullies themselves. Bystanders often have an increased use of tobacco, alcohol, and other drugs, as well as increased risk of mental health problems. Bullies are also at increased risk of abusing drugs and alcohol, criminal convictions, and behavioral issues later in adulthood. Oftentimes, bullying may go unnoticed as it isn't always easy to distinguish. Important red flags for bullying include worsening grades, unexplained cuts or bruises, alternative routes home in an effort to avoid the bully, sudden helplessness, withdrawn behavior, stomach aches, headaches, nightmares, and depression or self-destructive behaviors. Long-term effects of bullying are very real and very frightening. Victims of bullying are 4.3 more times likely to suffer from an anxiety disorder, 4.8 times more likely to suffer from depression, and 14.5 times more likely to suffer from panic disorders. One study concluded that out of the 963 bullied or former bullied students between ages 14 and 15 included in the study, over 33% reported symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder, a disorder most prevalent in mid to late adulthood. Due to its immediate threat to young populations, many people have spoken out against bullying, and many schools have implemented stricter regulations concerning bullying, although cyberbullying is much harder to defend against, as anything and everything can be submitted anonymously online. So, since bullying is such a serious, widespread issue, what lengths are we, as a population, going to in order to stop it? Many educators, public speakers, and even students are sharing their stories in the hopes to provide those struggling with bullying a little bit of comfort. Many high schools across Long Island and other parts of New York State and the United States have implemented a zero-tolerance policy for bullying, which involves severe punishments like out-of-school suspension, effectively reducing the amount of bullying found in public high schools. On an even larger scale, many celebrities that victims and bullies alike may idolize are speaking out about their histories with bullying, like Lady Gaga, who created the Born This Way Foundation in an effort to aid those who are suffering from bullying. Social networking has also spread awareness about how commonplace yet dangerous bullying is, especially on YouTube, where the viral It Gets Better campaign involves hundreds of famous actors, singers, athletes, Broadway stars, and even YouTubers themselves, like Tyler Oakley and Lily Singh. Victims are finding their voices and defeating bullies through kindness, communication, and support of one another. Educators, parents, any and all adult figures are finally listening to children, to us, and are being open, honest, and compassionate instead of downplaying the severity or telling children to man up or get over it. And they must continue to do so in order to make the world a safer haven for teens and children across the globe. Communication is vital to the healing process of bullying victims, as well as the adult's understanding of the child being bullied. If you or someone you know is being bullied, there are countless hotlines and online anti-bullying networks available, such as the National Runaway Safe Line, Cyberbully Hotline, and the Get Help Now hotline derived from stopbullying.gov. Telling an adult figure that can be trusted is imperative for the victim's health and well-being, as bullying left alone to metastasize will only produce more increasingly severe consequences. To conclude this video, we leave you with celebrity chef and former victim Catherine Cora's eloquent plea. Bullying is killing our kids. Being different is killing our kids, and the kids who are bullying are dying inside. We have to save our kids whether they are bullied or bullying. They are in pain. They need our help. We cannot defeat this alone. We need your help. Ask yourself this: the next time you come across someone who is being bullied or is bullying, will you be a bystander and turn your head away? Or will you step in and quite possibly save a child's life?